we've reached time for what's become our favorite segment, I think.
Yes.
It's time for No Dumb Questions.
Just
dumb people.
Dumb people.
That's right.
Yes.
No Dumb Questions is brought to you by our smart friends at NerdWallet. If you want to make smarter decisions about your finances, ask the nerds at NerdWallet. If you want someone to answer your not dumb questions, ask us. This week, we got a question from Hank on Twitter. If you could take away one rule in football and you could add one rule in football, what would they be?
Ooh, that is a great question. That is definitely not a dumb question. That is actually a very intriguing question. Yeah, this is a great question, Hank.
I think clearly the penalty that I would get rid of is offensive holding because it's an offensive lineman's nightmare.
You can't get rid of that.
I sure can. It asked in the prompt. It was very specific. If you could take away one rule in football, I would take away the one rule that makes my job infinitely harder. I would take away holding.
What about defensive holding? You're going to keep defensive holding?
Of course. That makes that would make my job harder. I don't care if it's fair or not. I just want my job to be easier.
Yeah. I thought we were talking about what'll make the game better and more entertaining.
Or what's a bad rule?
Yeah, what's a bad rule?
All right, we can do it that way. All right.
I'm saying what's a bad rule? Taunting. We should be able to taunt. We're a professional organization. We should be able to taunt the other player. And I'm not talking about
what does that have to do with professional organization?
Because I mean, when you're kind of going through the ranks, like high school, college, like you're still developing. You know what I mean? That professionalism. I don't know. I think at a younger age it's not necessarily needed. But heck, if we're going that route, let everybody taunt. Who cares? If you can't stop me, don't get mad at me.
We have to have respect for
talking
your
about
opponents. You got to have respect.
I got
for
great
your
sportsmanship. What? I'll shake everybody's hand after the game.
Not if you're taunting. Is that sportsmanship?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just playing the game. What do you mean? I'm a respectful taunter. I just tell everybody you can't stop me. I'm not going to tell you. I'm trying to think of
stupid. I'm trying to think of
catching
dumb
the ball
rules.
makes you feel bad enough. What's that?
I'm trying to think of dumb rules. What's a rule that I don't like that exists?
Can't take your helmet off.
See, you want to get rid of all the rules that aren't going to affect the game, though.
What do you mean? Taunting definitely affects the game.
These aren't.
It's a 15-yard penalty.
Well, if it gets called, but removing the penalty is not going to make the game change.
I think it'll make it way more entertaining when you get to what I'm going to say for my other rule.
What's your other rule?
I want to bring in.
What do you want to bring in?
One fight per game, hockey style. How electric would that be?
You want to take it back to
two heavyweights, O-line, D-line, just snap, helmet off. We get 30 seconds, just duke it out right here. Once we hit the ground, game's over. But
who's stopping it? The ref stops it once it hits the ground?
Yeah, we might have to have like bodyguards on the sideline just for that one moment.
So
you only get one player per team. This can't be a gang up like 5-on-5.
Can't be a brawl.
One-on-one. That's it.
You both take your helmet off, square up. Let's settle this.
Let's settle this right now.
God damn, that would be exciting. I'm not gonna lie.
Could you imagine? It'd be the first play of the game. Well, it would be like within the first drive, guys would just be
why
like,
is that
here we go.
Has that ever been like? Why was that grandfathered in the NHL? But for some reason, no other sport allowed that to happen.
I don't know, man. But fuck, I love going to hockey games for it.
Yeah, but
just a bare knuckle brawl, baby.
You barely ever see anybody get like knocked out in those hockey brawls.
Well, it's hard to get a good lick on somebody on the ice.
That's what I'm saying.
Man.
I feel like,
especially if you know the good technique. If you know the technique, opposite shoulder, you got to extend. You can't let him get a full swing. You grab
the jersey. Once you have the jersey, you can control that shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep. Until you can't.
Or you do the jersey over the head.
The Mighty Duck style.
Mighty Ducks
style. Bash Bros.
There would be some vicious knockouts. I can't imagine. And are there weight classes? Like are defensive linemen fighting linebackers, or like is there a receiver versus D line?
Don't be barking up the wrong tree, dog.
Like are you only allowed to fight with the guy that you're chirping with, or can another guy come in and be like? Is this just going to turn into like 1980s?
It's going to be like
hockey.
It's going to be
like
NHL.
Enforcers.
You're going to go get an enforcer.
Like we have our enforcer. You have their enforcer.
Somebody's signing Mike Tyson. Come on, Mike. We're going to need you one play a game.
I mean, I would love to watch it. I'm not going to lie. I am not going to lie. I would love to watch that.
Dude, let's do it. Let's do it in the NFL, man. Let's make this game more exciting, man. Get the ratings up.
If we did it right now, who's the enforcer on the Chiefs?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna go with Frank Clark, baby.
Frank Clark,
yeah,
not Chris Jones.
He's got them hands, baby.
He's got the hands?
Ooh, he's got the hands.
He's a little bit light, though. Like, if he goes up against a bigger guy.
He goes up against bigger guys all the time.
All right. I'm trying to think of who our enforcer would be.
I might know who it is.
Who do you think it is?
Number 62.
It's definitely not me. I ain't fighting nobody.
You were the enforcer in Cleveland Heights. I know that.
Yeah. Once upon a time, maybe, but not now. I'm too old for that.
You were the LEL enforcer.
The LEL enforcer.
Lake Erie League, baby. Shout out to the Lake Erie League.
I feel like it would have to be either Jordan Mailata just on pure size, or
Big
Linval
Fletch.
Joseph. Ooh, Fletch could do it too.
I can see Fletch. just.
I feel like Linval Joseph. He got a hell of a reach. He's like 340, 330.
It's a big dude.
Man.
Dominic Sue. I'm not barking up that tree. Fuck that.
Yeah, we got some guys.
Good for you. I tell you what, that's pretty damn good. I cannot keep this conversation going without mentioning Trey Smith being an enforcer.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot forget about 65, baby. 65 is definitely laying the law.
Some of those videos of him going at it with different guys, whether
And
it's
not just guys, like dudes.
Yeah.
Like
Simmons over there in
Jeff
Tennessee.
Simmons, yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's I love the way the guy plays the game. I really do.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Me too. I love that fucking guy. Shout out to Trey. He's definitely our enforcer too. Who else you got? Who do you got though? What do you got? You didn't name your two. Holding, offensive holding, and then what else?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if I'm getting rid of a penalty, that I think holding is a good penalty though. I just think it's annoying as an offensive lineman that you can't do it.
Which one would you add? What rule would you add? I always think of how like baseball always tries to make the game more offensive.
Yeah,
and they do stuff to like try and add to the like the hits and everything, like make wind the baseballs a little tighter.
I would change the motioning rules. I think you should be able to be more chaotic on offense, but pre-snap. I don't think you should have to be set. Like
Canadian style?
I like the Canadian rules on motions.
Canadian,
where you can get a full-on running start.
Mm-hmm.
Or also just having multiple people in motion. I think that it's already such an advantage for the offense when that happens. When you motion one guy, I think the fact that the defense doesn't have to be set, but the offense has to be set, I think is just a dumb rule. Is that not fair?
Wait, what?
Like the defense, they can.
Oh,
They can be moving all over the place. They can be hiding everything. But the offense, you have to be set. If two guys go in motion, they both have to come back to a complete stop for a second before, you know what I mean? Like I feel like there's some really cool things that could happen from an offensive structure if you change those motioning structures or those motioning laws.
Yeah. So I mean, we got both of our deals. That's pretty solid.
The other thing I would do is go back to the old rules of overtime.
You don't like the new rules? I'm not
No,
going to lie.
I don't. It's going to keep happening. Like, it's like, oh, well, the coin toss, we got a possession and you didn't. Oh, well, now we get the position back. Then you're going to go back and score again. Like, it's like a never ending thing. It's like, dude, listen, the game was tied. Next point wins. Like, stop complaining. Life isn't fair sometimes. You lose a coin toss.
You got to
go play some defense. I don't know what you want me to say.
And I've been on both sides of the spectrum. Have I. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. You had 4 quarters before that overtime to put a drive together to put up points that you should have put up points on.
Like everybody's like this. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out on these. It's ridiculous.
I think another cool rule, just me personally, would be pretty sweet if you got one double pass either per game or per half.
Ooh, double pass
meaning like you could throw a slant, a forward pass, and the guy that caught the slant could throw like a fade on the other side of the ball, on the other side of the field. How electric would that be? Yeah, you want to talk about touchdowns, baby? And
that would be interesting.
And turnovers.
That would be interesting to see how that changed the game.
That'd be crazy.
So basically, for one play, you want to just throw one double pass, or would it just be for one play? There's no rules as to
forward, lateral.
However you want to move this ball around, move the ball around.
That'd be crazy. You could forward, lateral, just become like basketball fast break style. You're just three man weaving. You're
playing rugby essentially, right? Or no, you can't throw the ball forward in rugby either. You can only throw it backwards.
The lateral rule is different though. I think as long as the ball is behind you after you pitch it, like once you pitch it, as long as the ball is behind you when the guy catches it.
So you can throw it forward and outrun it?
Yeah. I don't think you can't do that in the league. It has to be wherever, like if you're on the 4-yard line, the guy who's catching it can't catch it on the 5. It has to be on like the 3. Yeah.
I remember seeing like a clip and like Russell Wilson was like scrambling and threw a ball. What looked like live, it was a lateral, but when you like paid attention to the hashes, it actually moved forward like a half yard.
Yeah.
And I remember just being like, guys, what the fuck are we talking about? Like,
it's right. It's behind him.
This is going to happen once a season. Like maybe like this is not a big deal. They overdo it sometimes with this stuff. I think there's such a, because of replay, there's like such a emphasis that everything has to be perfect and nailed, and like all of this stuff is going to be subjective to a certain extent of like what's happening live on the field. I don't know. Whatever.
You do know. You just said it.
What used to be a catch was clear. It was like the clearest rule in the world. And then Des Bryant had to go across and have this one moment. And now we've been changing what is a catch for like the last 10 years. And now nobody knows what a catch is, basically. I mean, I think it's a little bit clearer now, but it was really unclear like 2 years ago.
Yeah. And so it was the same thing as the quarterback, the tuck rule, the QB forward pass, like in the pocket. Like, was the elbow coming forward? Is he tucked it yet? They've been changing that thing back and forth since Brady and the Raiders went at it.
Have they? They made the wrong call in that playoff game. That was clearly a fumble, right?
Not if you go by the rules.
No, by the rule back then it was a fumble. They had to change the rule, and then they changed it back, right?
I think that's the situation.
I don't know. I can't remember. It looked like a fumble.
Damn it. I hate when I can't remember. That was a great question. That was a great fucking question. I enjoyed talking that question, and hopefully the NFL allows fighting like hockey.
That would be a great rule change. I'm all for that. What happens at the end of the fight?
Ooh, that's a good question. Do you get like a quarter removed? You would get removed for the remaining or
is there a penalty?
Minute,
is it
like
just
a 5 minute in the box? Do we get a box in the NFL now? Ooh, you get a penalty. You got to go to the box for a few plays.
A little NFL sin bin.
That's a pretty good one to add.
I think that'd be good.
you get a holding penalty, or you like.
Where would it be at?
Now you're allowed to target, but you get 2 quarters in the box.
Where would it be at? Where would the box be at?
End zones.
It has to be, right?
It's the most fucking rowdy.
Yes. You got to go sit in the end zone.
In the stands, too. There's got to be a glass box in the stands. You just get fucking rained on. You just get
God, that'd be awesome.
Death. Fuck.
We need to do this. All righty. That about does it for No Dumb Questions. No Dumb Questions is brought to you once again by NerdWallet. If you want to make smarter decisions about your finances, ask our friends at NerdWallet. If you want someone to answer your not so dumb questions, ask us.